Hey, it's MK, and I am back for our third layout for Kit Conspiracy using our color study kit. This is the layout or the sketch, I apologize, that I will be trying to recreate today. So for this layout, I picked out some sorbet thickers. I don't know if they were for a specific collection or not. I have the rest of my color wheel that I plan on cutting up and using some pieces on this layout. I just don't know how many. I have two photos of my children wearing homemade purchases that we went to like a bazaar to go buy. I have my green piece that I used, this gutted piece of striped paper that I also used in the last layout. I pulled out two ribbons, this kind of tealy color, aqua, I don't know, and then a blue, I don't know. They're just fancy ribbons. Then I have my happiness paper by Coco Vanilla. I have the flowers on one side and then that gorgeous blue on the other. And then from Sunkissed, also Coco Vanilla, I have the ombre blue color. And then I believe it is a rainbow on the other side. I don't know. Flip it over. There it is. There it is. So anyways, I plan on going and fussy cutting out these flowers. I will be right back. So I went ahead and I cut out the fussy cut flowers, as well as the rest of my color wheel. And I have my two photos that I plan on trimming down. Now I left this portion in just so that way you could kind of sort of see that I kind of get blinders on when it comes to a layout before realizing I need to look at the sketch. So clearly the sketch has layer upon layer upon layer stacked up and then the photos nonchalantly laid on top of it, right? I completely forgot about all of this. And so I was just going to double mount my photos and lay them on top. So after I am done doing all of this, that's when I realized I didn't pull enough papers to even think about doing any of the layers, like none. So I'm going to go ahead and double map my photos. I have a pretty tight green photo mat and then a fairly large for the striped photo, and I absolutely love them, you guys. I just love it, and then this is when I realize I need more layers. So I'm going to do the exact same trick that I did for the first layout as taking my corner pieces from this, I keep calling it, it's a color wheel. I keep wanting to call it a spectrum wheel or something. Let me just get it out and say it. So I'm going to take the corners again, stealing that trick from the very first layout and using up that. I really do like the color that was around that color wheel and the kind of off-white greeny color. And then I thought about this green and I thought, or no, not green, I apologize. I thought about this striped look, and then I thought, no, that's too much. Thought about the green look, and I thought, no, that's too much. Brought in this blue, and because of how small that blue is going to be, I absolutely loved it. But I'm going to leave it as just this many layers, because when I thought about it, the flowers are so big that they're actually going to cover up most of all the layering. So I didn't really want to make this an uber super thick layered piece when you're not going to really see half of the layers, honestly. All right, so because I'm using real ribbon and it is kind of on the bulky side and it is on top of all of these layers, I'm actually going to try my hardest to work from the top down. And it kind of is a flop. It kind of doesn't work for me all that well. So I guesstimated at how much ribbon I needed for this particular layout. And then what I use for the curly ribbon definitely does not curl like I want it to. Like I'm trying to do the little loopy up at the top. I'm trying to do the little swivel down at the bottom. Yeah, there's no way that I could get this to work on a layout and it lay flat. Honestly, there's just no way. But I'm going to try, and I'm going to keep trying, and it's going to definitely be an adventure. But the ribbon seems to, kind of like swirl down, loop around, go across to the other side, and then come back, and it's just like, I have to say, it's like frustrating. So I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to get this ribbon to work. And I thought I'd leave this all in here because it makes me laugh, especially when I'm sorry, you guys. I just looped that ribbon around and stuck it through, and it for no reason whatsoever. Anyways, I cannot recreate what is going on with this ribbon behind this photo. So anyways, every year, pre-COVID, pre-2020, I should say, every year we, during about November and December, we have a whole bunch of craft fairs at our in our town. Either they're put on by the school, so the elementary school does one, the high school does a different one, the main convention center does another, we call it a bazaar, and a couple churches in town do some craft fairs as well. And then we have one during the summer out in Lamoille, which is just a gorgeous place, by the way. So anyways, during all of these, back in the day when I was a kid, they all had requirements. So in order for you to have a booth at this specific bazaar or fair or whatever, everything had to be homemade. Everything had to be made by hand. And so over the years, people started buying product, disassembling it, adding a few little homemade items, putting it back together, and then calling it homemade. And then by that time, it was kind of more to the point where, okay, well, we'll just take anything as long as you own a store type of deal, right? So during the school's affairs, or fairs, not affairs, I'm sorry, during the school's fairs, the kids are actually making the product. And so we've got a few people that knit or crochet. And so my daughter picked out this really fluffy, uber super thick beanie off of one of the galses. And of course, she's just always so impressed by what people can make and whatnot. And so she absolutely loved her little beanie. And then this is not my oldest son. This is my middle son. He picked one of those scarves. Now, like I said, this is pre-COVID. But he picks, it's called a gaiter is what it's called. And you wear it during the winter or during, the hunting season or anything like that when you're trying to keep your breath from showing, or you're trying to keep your breath in so that way you can maintain your heat inside instead of freezing. And so anyways, that is what this is, and it's just basically a tube that goes over your head, and you pull it on, and then you lift it up on your nose when you're ready, but it also keeps your neck warm when you're not putting it on your nose. So it was kind of cool when we first got these, because when masks started becoming mandatory, my kids already had these gaiters, and so it was kind of like, well, can we just use these until they say otherwise? Sure, why not? Because we didn't know any better. At the beginning of all of the mess, we had no clue. So anyways, that is what I'm just documenting here, is the fact that we still have a bunch of the booths that bring in the homemade items instead of just the, the store-bought or purchased elements. So anyways, and I love the fact that the schools always support the kids' hobbies, and have all of those really cool little crafts for them. So anyways, I have put my flowers where I wanted them, basically going off of the sketch where the leaves are up on, the upper right, and down below underneath the title. Well, my title, because my second photo is on the larger side, my title is going to be on the left-hand side of my second photo, or of my left side photo, just to kind of sort of keep it in with what I'm doing for the sketch. I decided as another layer, even though it doesn't really work with what is going on, I decided to go ahead and use my little pie pieces, so that way it kind of still looks like I'm trying to do the layer thing, but I'm not trying to do like 20 layers, like what could possibly be dissected on that sketch. I don't know. We did a lot of layering with these sketches that we picked out. I've noticed. I didn't notice that until after, like right now. I just noticed it. So I have decided that going up and down, with the ribbon, I'm going to use these pies, but I'm not going to add any more layering onto. I just think it's going to be too much. I think it's going to all get very lost. I really do like how this is starting to look. I absolutely love the ombre paper behind there. So to hold my ribbon down, I am using some pop dots. Or no, they're not called pop dots, glue dots. They're called glue. Pop dots is what raises it and gives it dimension, and I keep forgetting that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just, swirly my other ribbon down. I don't even care at this point if it matches what is going on in the photo, in all honesty. By this point, I'm like, I just want it to lay flat. So I went ahead and just twisted it and turned it until I got it to lay flat, and it still looked okay. And then I did cut one single flower to kind of put it in front of the ribbon. So that way it looks like the ribbon is kind of coming out of the bouquet. And I did have this other piece, but like I said, these flowers are uber super large to be used as the embellishments. So yes, it was a little difficult, and I didn't get to use as many as I was hoping I would use because of the largeness, but I do like how they look like they were almost made for this style of layout. So anyways, going ahead, I put my title on. It just says homemade is best. Went and glued down a little bit of the flyaways of some of the flower pieces. And that is it. This is how I finished off our third and final sketch for this particular kit. I'm going to save all of the pieces for our leftover day. I might use them in other projects that I have going on just because I have the papers to reuse. But other than that, I will see you next Friday to reveal the next kit. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Be sure to check out Janet over on Galaxy Girl Creations to see how she adapts her kit to this sketch. And yes, I will check y'all later. Thanks.